Hey everyone, just a quick reminder, this podcast is in no way affiliated with Disney Channel. All views stated in this podcast episode or any of the podcast episode are mine. Enjoy the show. This episode of the podcast, David's mic did not sound correct, so it is really hard to hear. I do encourage to use headphones in both ears to hear him pretty decently. Hey everyone, it's Matthew from That's So Matthew, and you're watching Disney Channel. Let's podcast.
Oh. What's up, Vegas? I'm gonna be telling you about Lilo and Stitch. My name's David, and I was invited on Matthew's adventure with our host,
Matthew.
Okay. So, Matthew, what's your podcast about?
So my podcast is about the old Disney Channel shows, so like the good shows, not the shows that appear now on Disney Channel, because they're all really bad.
Agreed. What would you include in this old Disney Channel shows?
Like any show that like happened before 2016. Including Lilo and Stitch. So here's just a quick brief overview of Lilo and Stitch the series. It premiered on September 20th, 2003. It consisted of 65 episodes and ended on July 29th, 2006. And it's based off of Lilo and Stitch, the movie, and other preceding films.
And I'm going to be going into more depth on Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, so we're gonna start things off with I watched the episode 1 called Richter, I think, where the plot is basically that an earthquake strikes the island and that all of these new creatures start coming out of the dust and start like attacking Stitch and Lilo. So that's what the whole series started off with.
And then it worked its way into Lilo and Stitch trying to go collect all of Stitch's brothers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. One thing I've always wondered that I thought was strange is Lilo in the show, first episode, why does she give the fish a sandwich?
I don't know. Wait, you actually watched the show?
No, I just remember this. This is all based off memory. So if some of the things are wrong, don't at me.
Oh my god. Okay, so what do you have to say about Lilo and Stitch in general, like the movie and stuff?
Overall, I'd say it's a well thought out film. Very credible and good. Unlike, as you said, the newer films, they're a bit. They don't have a plot as much. They don't seem as exciting.
Yeah, like we all need an Asian with a alien, right?
Oh God.
Not to get into race here, but
Are you against Asians?
no, but that's pretty much the plot of every Stitch movie. I think there's like 6 or something like that.
I think you're going against Asians here.
Alright, Dave, we gotta keep this pretty PG-13. Alright, here.
What? I'm just bringing up race.
Alright, so what do you think about what do you think about Lilo and Stitch like as a friendship?
Terrible friendship. Stitch tries to kill Lilo on multiple occasions.
I do have to agree with you on that one.
And there's a lot of fighting in that household and licking.
Yeah, it's an odd household, like the sister and like the lifeguard. I follow you.
Hmm. I feel like if they made another episode, they should make the sister pregnant. We all know it's gonna happen either way.
I guess, yeah. So, do you think that like Lilo and Stitch are a little bit more than friends?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
You want to go
Why would
into
you
some
bring that
slight
up?
detail about what you're thinking in your head, David?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, they share a room alone together at night. No one bothers them. Also, they have that secret tree house. Usually, it's just them two in there. And also, are we really sure that Stitch is a guy?
I guess not really, but it's more implied.
Because we never see his massive dong, and he's always naked.
Oh my
Do you
God,
think he's
David. All
a
right.
naturalist? Because they got a place for him in Zootopia. Oh,
Maybe, I don't know. Whatever you are implying from Stitch.
maybe he just likes to be exposed. Maybe he likes to whack his willy to things that you know.
I guess we're gonna try to keep this pretty clean. So this whole series continues where Stitch exclamation mark the movie where it left off, where they're trying to connect or collect the rest of Jumba's missing experiments. So that's pretty much what's going on the whole time. Like in the first episode, there's a few random ones that appear from Earthquake.
Hmm.
Um, I
I
think
have.
that
I'm just
Stitch
gonna bring
is a
this
very
up.
odd child.
Oh, definitely. But I'm just gonna bring this up now. Uncle Jumbo and Auntie the green dude.
Yeah, I follow.
Um, how dumb did they make the Hawaiians in this show? Because
Pretty dumb.
all it takes for them to pass as humans are a big T-shirt, big pants, a sundress, and a sun hat.
Yeah, I see
Maybe
where you're
their
going.
skin color is different.
Yeah, it's kind of special. Like, I think it's more like Disney. They more imply it. Like they just like think that like they're real humans no matter what they're wearing.
Mm, maybe,
And
but
it's also
yeah,
more of like imagination, I would think.
there's a lot of imagination in this.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagining that fish chowing down on that PB and J.
Yeah. And like some of the aliens, would they realistically eat our food?
Not technically, because we don't know what they can eat, because they may have
Yeah.
different allergies. So they may be like a PB and J sandwich may be poisonous to them. And also, you think that dude that always eats ice cream on the beach is a pedo?
I don't know. He might be. We don't judge. This is 2019, but that'd be a little odd in my
That's
opinion.
for race, not things, including pedos. But just think about it. Every time he's seen on the beach, he's just licking that ice cream. Who knows what he's thinking when he's licking that ice cream? Maybe he wants to lick other things, if you're catching my
All
drift.
right, we're gonna have to slow this down here. PG
Safe,
13 rating here.
safe, should be safe.
All right, so now we're gonna kind of talk about the characters individually. So Stitch, I'm reading this off of Wikipedia, a very reliable source. We always know this. He is also known as Experiment 626, and he finds out that he is cousins, and him and Lilo set out to find the rest of them and save their lives. That's pretty much the whole point of the show.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I think or Ohana. Ohana means family. Very classic line from the show. But I think it's kind of odd that he has all like 625 other cousins, and he thinks that he'll be able to find them all on Earth, aliens on Earth to begin with.
That's how you know his mother's been around. Oh, ooh, more than 200 kids.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids. So then we have Lilo. Lilo is like, how old do you think she is? Like 6, 7?
She can't. She isn't even in school at any of the time, so she has to be like super young.
Yeah, probably like 4 or 5, depending on when this was out. So like 3K was a big thing back then.
True.
And then we also have like the other experiments. We don't really need to get into them because I don't really think anyone really knows who that is.
True. All they only go on them is their ability and like just their number.
Yeah, pretty much. And then there's a character apparently called Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong? Wait. What? Wait.
What?
What? There's Mr. Wong.
Yeah, there's Mr. Wong.
I can look this up.
And he in the show, and he is the owner of the rental hut on the beach. So maybe that's what you're talking about with the.
Amazing.
Yeah, maybe.
Mr. Wong, I got mad respect for this show now. Wait, do they include Mexicans?
I think so. Like, isn't part of Hawaii like Mexicans at least a little bit?
Maybe, or aren't they just Hawaiian?
Okay, so Mr. Wong actually he does not look Asian. He looks more like of a Mexican. I'll send you a picture when we're done recording.
Oh, yeah, I see that. He had that mustache.
Yeah.
If his name wasn't Mr. Wong, he'd be like a pure-blood Mexican.
Yeah.
He has that scruffy mustache, tan. He probably works on a farm.
Probably. So what, anything else, like, that we really want to talk about? This is a pretty short podcast, but so we gotta probably keep it going for about 10 more minutes.
Oh, yeah. You know that orange-haired girl and her,
Yeah.
Lilo dancing? I just have to point this out.
So.
You think Lilo gets off on biting people?
Oh my god, we don't need to go there, David. This is Disney, but I do always believe that there's a deeper meaning inside of every Disney movie.
There is always a deeper meaning. You just have to dig deep and hit bedrock, just like in Minecraft. But never dig down and don't waste your diamonds on a hose. And that's where I'm gonna leave you off with that.
Oh, amazing. And then also the final episode, technically, of this show is called Leroy and Stitch. It's when I think Stitch has like all those other cousins that look like him, but they're different colors.
Isn't Leroy
the evil one, the red one?
Yeah, no, he's in red. I thought he was just like an electric one. And
I think he's red. If you look it up, he looks to be red.
Oh yeah, he's the one that can not shapeshift. He was with that one dude.
The evil people.
That electric dude looked like he could clamp Lilo's nipples and electrocute him. He ain't red. He's like gray. Not gray, but like he loves sandwiches. Oh, he is red. Yep.
The girl who voiced Lilo is only like 28 years old. That's like kind of scary. So she was probably really young when they filmed the movie.
Probably. Well, I mean, mean, you have to be young to
So,
voice
like,
a young kid.
she was probably like 12 when she voiced. And the guy who voiced Stitch is like really old. Chris Sanders. He's like 60 years old.
Conspiracy theory.
I guess.
Now. No, that isn't conspiracy theory. Something's going on between them. 11-year-old, 6-year-old guy. You know.
I get like there's always like a very big age gap in every movie recording. Let's be real here.
And that's the age gap makes things interesting. If you know what I mean.
I get you, David.
Winky face, winky face.
So, anything, like, that really you don't understand in Lilo and Stitch, like, conspiracy theory, anything?
Oh, we could go on about my conspiracy theories if you want.
Which one?
Can I say them?
Sure.
Along with that, the ice cream licking dude, he's a pedo. There's also that one hula instructor. I don't trust him.
Switch over to some fun facts about Lilo and Stitch in general.
Lilo probably has a disability.
So,
Mental.
we talked about this. Davy Chase was the voice of Lilo, and she, The Ring and Lilo and Stitch, another movie that she is famous for, were released in the same year. And Disney spent over $80 million on this film.
What film?
Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, I thought you said that they voiced another.
Well, yeah, and then also the guy who voiced Stitch was the director.
Oh, okay.
So, we already kind of talked a little in depth about this. And, also that, the girl who voiced Lilo, the Hawaiian girl, is actually, white.
I can see that. Has a very white voice.
Yeah, I guess. Like, not trying to be, like, racist or anything. And that the original set, or the original, like, location for the movie with Stitch was in rural Kansas.
Really?
Yeah, and then, like, they changed it to Hawaii, which I guess it makes more sense.
True.
And then, there was a scene, I don't know if you've seen this before, but there was a scene where, like, a spaceship crashes into a building. And, like, after 9/11, they got rid of it because, like, they thought it was bad, so it crashes into a tree instead.
9/11 was an inside job.
Oh, boy.
Just saying.
And then we also have that, you know the fish, Pudge the fish? The one that she feeds? Was, apparently, like, Stitch was supposed to eat him.
Oh, what? Why didn't that happen?
I don't know, because, like, you want, like, little kids to cry.
And they could have had, like, an award for being the first cartoon Disney show to kill a character off camera, or on camera.
I think there's been a few, like, there's some sad Disney movies where people die. And then another fun fact, that the original story was focused on an alien living in a forest. Stitch, I'm assuming, was the alien living in a forest.
Oh, God.
And Stitch was not supposed to talk.
That make him even more creepy.
And apparently, from what I'm reading, it sounds like Stitch was supposed to be like a person who got turned into an alien.
I mean, who knows what Jumba did with those? How did he create them?
And apparently Jamba was supposed to be Stitch's partner in, like, crime. Like, they were supposed to be, like, the dynamic duo of the movie.
see that?
Yeah, but
Jumbo
then
making
changed
devices,
Jumbo to
filling
be a
every-
little room.
Huh.
Room. Mean. And let's see what else. People thought that Nani, that's his name, or her sister's name, was Lilo's mother.
I thought that at the beginning.
Yeah,
too.
so they had to rework some scenes.
Wait, what happens if the lifeguard is Lilo's dad?
The conspiracy theory. I feel like we're turning into Shane Dawson more and more.
Wait, what happens if Stitch is Lilo's dad?
Oh my god, David, that wouldn't even work.
What happens if the ice cream man is Lilo's dad?
Oh my god, you're just making stuff up as you go now, David.
Improv.
Alright, and then also that Lilo and Stitch was the first Disney animated film since Dumbo to use watercolor painted backgrounds.
Now that I think about it, some of the backgrounds do look watercolored.
Mm-hmm. And Lilo and Stitch was the first animated film by Disney to be set in Hawaii.
Are there any other films that are set in Hawaii?
I think there might be some live action ones where they go to Hawaii, but I don't think there's any animated film that's solely set in Hawaii.
Oh.
So, any closing thoughts?
Don't waste your diamonds on hose and don't dig down.
That's a wrap on this episode of That's So Matthew. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please check out some of my other episodes that can be found on Anchor or Spotify. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys tune in to some of my other episodes. New episodes should be released weekly, so check back often. And I'll see you soon. Bye!